Okay, well, hello everybody. My name is Kipp, and I'm going to be running Super Metroid tonight. I'm ready to get started whenever you guys are, so just let me know when to start, and we'll get the timer going.
All right, Kipp, well, let me just say, first of all, I'm super excited for your run. Low percent ice is always a treat, and it's super dangerous. Let me just make this clear enough for everyone watching. Could you give us a quick rundown of what the category's about before you start?
Sure. Super Metroid is a really awesome, Super Nintendo game. In my opinion, one of the coolest retro runs out there, and it's a really tough, dangerous game. But in particular, the run I'm doing tonight is low percent, which means I can't pick up any more than the minimum number of items needed to complete the game, and that's going to be 14. So I'm going to have, the lowest number of missiles, the lowest number of E-tanks, and the lowest number of even beams and suits and stuff that I can actually finish the game with. And so it's going to make the fights really long and sort of dangerous. Yeah, okay, so let's get started in 3, 2, 1, go. Thanks, everybody. So yeah, once again, my name is Kipp. That's K-I-P-P. That's my real name. My Twitch name is Kipp. I'm one of the lucky people that gets to have their first name as their Twitch name. And I'm really excited to be here to run Super Metroid for you guys tonight. This game is a ton of fun. It's one of those games that I feel like you can put a lot of time into it, and you can get a lot out of the game. There's just so much to learn, and it takes a really long time to, continue to develop your skills. So this category tonight is my personal favorite category to run, but I will openly admit to you is probably one of the most dangerous to try to do at a marathon event. The chance of me dying in this run is very, very realistic, but I'm going to see if I can get through it. I'm going to run this run tonight straight up without doing any saves, just so you can see what the run is supposed to look like. And then if I happen to die, I have a few safety saves on my cart that I can load up. My estimated finish time is 1 hour. I put some extra time on there just in case anything bad happens. My current PB in this category is a 51:40. And I'm just kind of hoping that tonight I can finish in under 55 minutes. But we'll see. Some of that depends on my performance. Some of that depends on RNG. This run is actually very RNG heavy because a lot of the damage that you get in various places comes from missile drops and stuff like that, and you don't have full control over that. So before we get any further, I do have a few announcements to make, but why don't we start with the couch, guys? Why don't you guys introduce yourselves? I got some of the biggest supporters of my channel here with me today.
Hey, this is Gunstar1. That's actually, the name is, this is Gunstar1.
Hey, my handle, I guess, is Mass Hysteria. I want to say happy birthday to my daughter, Penny, who should be watching right now.
Right, before we get to Mako, that was the main thing I wanted to say is my buddy Brad here, he's got 2 daughters that are big fans of Super Metroid, and Penny turns 8 today. So Penny, if you're out there watching, happy birthday, and look forward to seeing you again soon.
Let's go 1, 2, 3, go, and happy birthday, Penny. Can I get a happy birthday, Penny, from the crowd? Let's go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Happy birthday, Penny.
Thanks, guys. That was awesome.
My pleasure.
And then Mako?
Mako Troid.
Even Twitch chat joined in.
So now that we've got some of the introduction stuff out of the way, as I mentioned earlier, this run is 14% items. Every single item in this game counts as 1%, whether it's a really important item like a major item like Various Suit or just a missile pack. Each one is 1%. So here's the first item we're going to get, Morphing Ball. I'll just go ahead in advance and tell you what the items are going to be. There's going to be Morphing Ball and Bombs, Various Suit and Gravity Suit, and then Charge Beam and Ice Beam. Those are the core 6 items. And then in terms of minor items, ammunition, I'll get 2 missile packs, 2 super packs, and 1 power bomb pack. Those are required to get through Mother Brain 1, which hopefully you'll see later. So that's 11 total items. And then the last 3 items are 3 energy tanks. We have to have over 300 health We have to have 301 health or higher once you defeat Mother Brain 2, because she does an unavoidable rainbow beam attack that will drain you of 300 health. So we have to have at least 3 energy tanks to get through that. And the thing that makes this category really scary for a marathon setting is there's not a lot you can do to make it safer, since you can't get any extra items. So some of the fights are going to be pretty tough. In particular, Phantoon, Ridley, and Mother Brain 2 are probably the 3 toughest parts of this run. And have to do them with a lot less items and a lot less damage than would be typical for any percent or hundo or something like that. But hopefully it'll go well. We'll see. So right now we're just heading up to get bombs. This is a pretty traditional thing for just about any category. Haven't done any sequence breaks yet. This is a no major glitches category, by the way. There's no out of bounds or anything like that. So there will be a few minor glitches that I employ in this run. Some of them you don't see in typical any percent or 100%, which I'll try to point out when I get there. But other than that, there's no major glitches. So this is playing the game, you know, pretty much as it is normally. Yeah, you can go ahead.
All right, so we have a $20 donation by Poppy, who says, you know we have to donate to kill the animals. You won't need it, but good luck on the run.
Thank you, Poppy. I appreciate that. For the record, I'm really happy to be here, you know, doing some charity work and raising money for a great cause. And so if you want to donate to either incentive, we would love to have those donations. But in particular, if you don't know which one to pick, I would go with Kill the Animals. It sounds brutal, but trust me, it's what the speedrunners want.
About that, I would just say that Kill is ahead with $214.43.
That's what I want to hear.
Save is at $64.69. So, I mean, those who want to save them, you're going to have to step up big time.
I think I should come out clean here and just tell everybody that the first time I watched a Super Metroid speedrun on an event, I did not know anything about Save or Kill the Animals. And so I heard all these people donating for either one, and I was like, Kill the Animals sounds terrible. So I donated for Save, and then I started running the game, and then I realized that I made a mistake. So I just want to apologize formally for donating to Save the Animals many years ago.
If that makes you feel any better, I danced in front of the crowd cam at GDQ with a Save the Animals shirt. So there you go.
Yes, that does sound a bit worse.
And I enjoyed every second of it.
Of course. So this is the first kind of major sequence break. You're not really intended to be able to get to this item this fast in the game. You're supposed to have Speed Booster to get up there, which is an item that I will not get at any point during this run. But I was able to utilize what's called a mock ball. So I was able to maintain my run speed in ball form, just like I did here. And it also lowers or shortens my hitbox, which lets me get under those gates. So that Super Missile Pack will let me skip Spore Spawn, which is a mini boss that takes a while to kill. The game intends for you to kill that mini boss before you get Super Missiles for the first time. I call those the reset missiles in this run, because you get those missiles in almost every run, but in this one, if you get them, you're gonna run 15%, so that's not what we wanna do. So luckily we were able to avoid the reset missiles, and now we can continue. Gentlemen on the couch, y'all want to just briefly explain? I'm probably not going to talk the entire time tonight because I have to focus on some stuff from time to time, but do you guys kind of want to explain where I'm about to go in like the boss order?
Yeah, so he's coming up on, it would be great first. Phantoon, sorry. Yeah, so he's going to go up Red Tower here. This is a very difficult section.
Yeah. So yeah, that's another trick that, you know, maybe not intended. Typically, maybe the designers would have had you go down instead of go up there. But due to the nature of the low percent, there's really no advantage. So if we can go straight up, we can save a lot of time. And now we're coming up on the first major trick where we're all shut up on the couch and let them kind of go for it. But there's the moat jump, which is coming up, which requires a couple of frame-perfect type maneuvers here. So as we kind of clear out these next few rooms, we're going to let them sort of focus and get ready to go.
Yeah, I want to openly admit to everybody that the room that's coming up here in a few rooms called the moat, to get across is really difficult, and sometimes I get it on the first try, sometimes I fall in the water multiple times. I could get stuck. This is a huge choke point. You either have to get a series of a 2-frame perfect jump into a 1-frame, or a tricky maneuver where you do a horizontal bomb jump, which is really awkward and not overly intuitive. So anyway, here it comes. I don't know how long this is going to take, but we will see. I'll do the best I can here. Unfortunately, I was a little late on my maneuver there, so I'm going to have to go a little slow here and get back over here. I could try the CWJ again, but it would require leaving the room. I think, all right, there we go. Whew. So lost maybe 15 to 20 seconds there, but all in all, I will take it. So now we're going to go fight Fantoon. First of all, it's difficult to fight him in this category. Every time he hits you with his body or his flames, it will do 40 damage, so I don't really have a ton of health. Secondly, I have to doppel him using missiles, and I don't have any other upgrades that I can use. So it's kind of hard to get a 2-round Fantoon, and in particular in this category where you only have a maximum of 10 missiles, and you can't really save missiles up for future rounds. It's really hard to get a 2-round, so I'm going to try to safely get a 3-round and just hope for the best. But he can be very troll and give me either bad patterns, bad positions, or not give me the drops that I need. So anyway, I'm just hoping to survive this fight. All right, he's giving me a mandatory slow here. I think I got about 7 that time. All right, this is another slow. I hope he gives me a mid here. All right, there we go.
Yeah, that one's a lot harder than it looks.
All right, now hopefully he'll give me some decent drops here, preferably full health and full supers. Very good. I don't have as many power bombs as I would like, but I can still make this work. So now we're going to pick up the last minor item of the entire game, the last super missile pack. This is the most missiles and most supers and most power bombs I'll have for the entire run. We're going to be coming up on a pretty tough room called the attic here in a minute. Usually in any percent, if you're doing old route or hundo, you would have like the speed booster in this room, and you could use some shine spark strats potentially. But I don't have those items. So I'm going to try to utilize a power bomb and then several timely missiles to clear the room. All right, this is a pretty important jump. It's not usually too hard, but it is possible to mess this room up and die. You're at minimum going to take 120 damage because you don't have any suits to protect you. But luckily, I was able to get over in 2 jumps. So this would be a great time if there are any donations to read. But yeah, just to let you guys know, one quick thing you might have just seen. If you have charge beam fully charged and then you do a spin jump, if you run into an enemy, it'll do 200 damage. And if you kill the enemy, you won't take damage. But if you don't kill the enemy, they'll still take damage, but it'll hurt you too. And later you'll see me utilize that a little bit against Dragon, one of the bosses. You have to kill these bosses in a kind of a less traditional way because of the items that you have. But yeah, we're grabbing Gravity Suit, and again, if there's any donations out there, feel free to read them. All right, so we killed Phantoon first, which is not the way the game sort of intends you to. Usually the traditional way is Kraid first, Phantoon second. And then Dragon and Ridley. Our order for this run is Phantoon first to get Gravity Suit, which is the most powerful suit in the game in terms of vanilla. But now I'm going to go to Kraid second so I can grab the Various Suit and an extra energy tank before I head to fight Ridley in Lower Norfair. Yeah, go right ahead.
All right, so we have 2 more donations that came in. A $10 one by Dark Zoa, who says, "Shave the animals, shave the frames. Good luck, Kipp. A shame I'm out of time on Insane Firebat and I might have come to watch your run." And we have a $50 donation by Claire, who says, "Do the right thing, Kipp, and kill the animals."
Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Dark.
So kill stands at $274.43, while save has a measly $64.69. So you guys got to step up if you want to see those animals saved. I'm just saying.
We're going to go ahead and break this tube since I already have Gravity Suit, and then that way when I come back the second time, it'll already be open. I'm going to try to get a fast entry here, but sometimes I miss this. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, so I'll openly admit here, other than dying, the biggest fear that I have for this run is missing the Kraid quick kill, which is coming up. You can kill Kraid before he ever stands up, and it's very fast, but if you miss, he will take at least like 12, 15 seconds, and he will stand up and ruin your run. I'm usually like 95% on this, but every so often I'll miss it, so let's see how it goes. There we go. Have a seat, Kraid. All right, so now we're going to grab Various Suit here. It's our second final suit. Going to grab another energy tank before I head to Norfair. And I'm only going to Norfair one time during this run, so I will enter Upper Norfair, grab a couple of key items for this run, and then head down to Lower Norfair to fight Ridley. The Lower Norfair section and the Ridley fight are my two, I guess really my favorite section of this entire run. Mostly just because it's such a dangerous place and it's really scary, even in like a regular run. So it's kind of cool to be able to try to attempt it with very few items. So let's finish getting a few more items here and then we'll head down that direction. Now, I can't get any safety items really in this run, but I will do a few farming strats that will be a little bit slower than what I would traditionally do. And the main reason for that is just because I want to give myself as much leeway as possible. And since this isn't a PB attempt, I don't need to save the 10, 15 seconds. you know, you try to push it to the limit as much as possible when you're doing a PB attempt. And a lot of the margins on a lot of these strats and health and ammo management are incredibly thin in this game and in this category. But tonight I'm going to farm up just a little bit before some of the major sections, try to make it a little bit easier.
I just want to say that even with the safety strats, this category is not marathon friendly.
No, not at all. I'll be very, very thrilled if I don't die. So right here, I would normally drop a power bomb and lag the room, and it'd take an extra second, but I'd be trying to farm those 3 creatures because I'd be trying to skip later farm sessions. But since I'm going to farm later, I'm going to go ahead and save that second there and not farm them. Here's a pretty tough trick. I'm going to try to mock ball out of this room to get under this gate. We'll see if I can get it first try. I think I got it. Very nice. All right. That's another one of the things I was a little nervous about. Since I don't have high jump boots, I'm going to have to use a double bomb jump to get up here. This can actually take a second too. This one's pretty tricky. Ah. There we go. So at the end of this room, when I head down to go to Lower Norfair, I would normally skip this farm and just try to go straight and hope that the game gives me drops later in Lower Norfair that I need. To get a PB in this category, once you start kind of optimizing your run a little bit, it's very difficult because RNG has to be on your side. And I'm going to mitigate that a bit by farming here and getting full on ammo and health before I head down there. So that actually was a very fast farm. It doesn't normally go that fast. But that'll give me a little bit of breathing room for Lower Norfair. I need to get one more power bomb here. And I'm going to try to do a boost into the next room to save a few seconds. And then I have to use a gravity jump since I don't have high jump boots. This jump will allow me to get some level of momentum in the water and then jump higher than I normally would be able to. All right, and at this point, I'm just gonna go ahead and say up front that there's a room in this game called the worst room in the game. And I'll let you imagine why it's called that. In this particular category, it's incredibly brutal. If I miss the strat that I go for, it's gonna cost me a ton of time. But in my opinion, it's the coolest strat in any run of Super Metroid. And I want to shout out Static 9, who's one of our great runners in our community. He invented this strat. It's pretty crazy. So at this point, I'm just going to be quiet and try to focus and see if I can get it. Okay, as soon as I get to the top of the next room, if I get to the top of the next room, then you can go ahead and read it. But here's the worst room in the game. Got him.
Just
and got the
wow.
ball too. All right, sweet. Go ahead and read the donations.
Well, we just got a $50 donation by Sloters27 who says, "Let's go, baby. Good luck on the run, Kipp."
Let's go, baby. Thank you, Sloters.
And another 50 towards Kill the Animals. I think it's safe to say that unless Elon Musk shows up, we're killing the animals.
All my people are coming out strong. I appreciate that, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's not good. Okay, I messed up the down back, which is a lot slower, but I'm just gonna kind of play it safe. I can go ahead and tank this one, it's not a big deal. But these key hunters and pirates in this section do 50 damage each, and as you can see, I don't have a ton of health. But there's gonna be a farm right before Ridley, and I have to get to full missiles and full supers and full health before I fight Ridley anyway. So sometimes that section can be really fast or slow, just depending on what the game wants to give you. So I had enough health there to where I could tank that last key hunter. Okay, when I get to Ridley here in just a second, I'm just going to be quiet for several minutes. He has 18,000 health, and my charge shot only does 90 damage each. So needless to say, I have to hit him a whole lot. Luckily, I can have ammo too, and the ammo will do a decent amount of damage to him. But I need to go in with full health and full ammo, so I pretty much have to sit here until the game gives me the supers that I need. We could be here for a while. But as soon as I go into Ridley, I'm just going to be quiet and try to focus on killing him. This is one of the more dangerous parts of the run. I'll do my best, but there's a very real chance that I could die. All right, here we go.
Serious time.
Indeed. Ridley just trolled me. He basically gave me an unavoidable pattern. Ridley is the biggest troll in this game. His AI is incredibly complicated, and he does some really strange things. As much as you want to try to manipulate him, he's pretty much his own boss. No, that's not good. Uh-oh. This is very bad. If I get hit by anything, I'm dead, unfortunately. Okay, I'm really sorry about that, but I'm gonna have to load up a save.
Don't be
that
sorry. This
portion again.
category, as I was saying earlier, is not marathon friendly by any metric.
Yeah, unfortunately, the main thing that happened there that caused the trouble at the end was the super missiles do 300 damage normally to anything, but to him, they do 600, they do double damage, and I was trying to get my last few supers in. He didn't give me any pogo patterns during the red sequence at the end. And unfortunately, I misfired one of the supers, and so I had to do 6 or 7 more charge shots, and that put me in a bad position. Then he didn't turn around when I needed him to. So I was like basically one super missile away from killing him. I think that's the first time Ridley has killed me in a run in like almost a month, but that's the way it goes sometimes. It just means you guys get to see the worst room in the game one more time, right?
I mean, it's starting to grow on me. Might become the best room in the game. Might be the worst room in the game, but it's got the best strat.
It's a pretty swaggy strat. What blows my mind is like the inputs are not actually all that crazy relative to other tricks in this game, but just the fact that Static was able to figure out how to manipulate the pirates like that took a lot of effort. So it's just a really cool concept. I'm gonna play this a bit safe just to protect myself. So yeah, basically the same as before. I've got to get through these metal pirates and then through a few rooms, farm up for Ridley, and we'll give it another go here. See if he can be a little bit more cooperative this time, and if maybe I can play a little bit better. All right, we're actually almost there. I just need a little bit of health and a super missile, and we are good to go. I also didn't do the opening strat very well this last time. Let me see if I can get it. It actually looks pretty cool when I get it right. There we go. Whoa, Ridley. Oh my God, that's like the trolliest thing he can possibly do right there. He is not interested in playing nice today at all. So basically, he's got 18,000 health, but as soon as he dips below 50%, he will turn pink. He's purple right now. And that'll mean he has less than 9,000 health left. And I have 7,000 damage worth of ammo. So once he turns pink, I only have to do about 2,000 damage worth of charge shots. My charge shots all do 90 damage each. So typically I have to hit him 22 or 23 times, depending on how I did my opening. Here, I think I only have to hit him 22 once he turns pink if I hit all of the ammo, which last time I missed that super. Hopefully he'll be a little bit more cooperative, and when I get him into that pink phase, he will pogo a little bit more so I can unload some of that ammo safely. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and I think that's enough. All right. Once again, my apologies for forcing you guys to watch that twice, but he is quite the troll and does not always do what you want him to do. So this is the last item I'm gonna pick up. We now have 14 items, and we're gonna make our way hopefully out of Lower North Fair. Everything down here hits like a truck, pretty much 40 or 50 damage each. So basically, I like having my full health to try to get through this section. You're gonna mandatory take some hits down here, and even in rooms where you can do a little bit of manipulation, you can't control everything, so sometimes you get hit more than you want. So I'm trying to give myself a little bit more leeway here. The primary rooms of concern are the ones with the key hunters in them. And this one too, you can get through this one damageless, but sometimes the game just doesn't cooperate. In fact, most of the time, the most likely scenario is I get hit at least once. Yeah, that guy, I can't control that. But we're still fine. I'd prefer to get through this next room by only getting hit one time by these key hunters, but I can't control that fully either. So we'll see if they do what I need them to do here. Yeah, go right ahead.
All right, well, we got a $10 donation by Junkbox6 who says, who would win? Hundreds of sweet loving animals or one runny boy? We have a $15 donation by Simon who says, it's great to see you run as always. Thanks for inspiring me to the running low percent.
Hey, thank you, Simon. I appreciate that.
And also, we have Sefi who donated $100 and says, I support you fully, my guy. I applaud you for tackling this category. One love.
Thank you, Sefi. Appreciate that. We've got a lot of great people in the Super Metroid community, so for anybody out there who's interested in speedrunning any game, or just if you have watched some Super Metroid stuff and you find it interesting, I would highly recommend getting on our Discord, talking to people. Everybody's very helpful. I mean, when I first started playing this game, I was just doing it casually for fun, and there were a lot of people that came in and helped me a ton. So one other thing, I try to give back a little bit to the community. We hold a thing on my channel from time to time called SM Strat Chat, where we will interview like somebody in the community that has some great times in various categories, and we will then me and my buddy True Moss, we will like go through a bunch of strats to try to help people grow. So if anybody's interested in seeing any of that stuff to try to get their speedrunning off the ground, they can just see that on my Twitch channel. There should be a collection of multiple Strat Chat videos But yeah, we're out of Lower Norfair now. Brad, do you want to explain real quick what's happening here? This is a little bit different than most other categories.
Yeah, so this is unique to this category. Well, pretty much. Typically, we're not going to go back through any of these rooms. And they're a little bit awkward, actually, to go right to left. But typically, we can go through what we call Frog Speedway underneath, but that requires you to have Speed Booster, which is not allowed in this category. This is a tight jump. There you go.
Yeah, so we now are back to Business Center, which is, we are now leaving Norfair. So we're done with Norfair forever in this run. Now the only thing left to do is clear Meridia. We won't pick up any items, but we have to kill a mini-boss called Botwoon, and then Dragon. And the way that you have to kill Dragon in this particular category is very, very different from the other categories. But there's also a lot of gravity jumps and a lot of technical stuff in this particular section. It's kind of nerve-wracking when you're on a good pace for a PB in this particular category, because this is a really super technical portion of the run, and it's at the end. So anytime that you miss a strat in this area, you lose a lot of time. So let's hope for the best. Coming up is the tightest wall jump in this run. You have to do a delay, there we go, a delayed wall jump. You can gravity jump that, it's just slower, but I wanted to try it for it the normal way. And the Botwoon fight is pretty interesting. It can be, you can one-round it even in this category, but if you don't, it can be incredibly slow. He has a terrible hitbox. If you miss any of your supers, or he gives you, there's even some patterns that are like not very good. There's one pattern in particular where it's essentially impossible to one-round. So if he gives me that one, we're gonna be stuck here for a little while. But anyway, let's see how it goes. Uh-oh. He didn't give me the opening that I wanted. All right, so I think I have to hit him with 2 charge shots now. There we go. Not too bad. He has a chance to stick his head out without moving, which is the easiest way to finish the fight. You can just pop him with however much ammo you have left, but unfortunately he didn't give that to me. And when he's low on health, he starts moving really fast, and it's hard to hit him with his terrible hitbox. But here, we're just gonna have to sit in this room and farm until we get to full ammo and health. It just kind of is what it is. This is one of those sections. Wow, they gave me a lot of supers right off the bat right there. This is one of those things where you can be on a great pace and then just the game can say no, basically, and you can just get stuck here waiting on ammo. But we're gonna go ahead and farm all the way to the full supers. Come on, guys. There we go. All right, and now we can make our way to Dragon.
Someone brought up an interesting theory about Meridia in chat. Basically,
What's that?
Well, Dykemook says Meridia is filled with the tears of speedrunners.
I think Mook is correct on that. Okay, so what I would normally do if I were attempting a PB in this category is I would play everything incredibly aggressive and like dangerous. In this particular fight tonight, I'm gonna kill all of these turrets. So I'm gonna use 9 of the 10 missiles I have to kill them, and that's gonna stop them from shooting. But in regular PB attempts, I actually leave these 2 up and they just fire at me the whole time, and I just kind of hope that they don't hit me enough to kill me. That way I can have a little bit of extra damage for Dragon and potentially kill her 1 cycle quicker. But this fight has a lot of RNG, and I have to farm. Like, I have to literally farm her goo. So depending on what she drops and how many times she swoops, it could make the fight longer or shorter. So I'm gonna play it relatively safe and just hope to get through it without too much issue. So far off to a pretty good start. She's giving me lots of goo patterns, which is good. Unfortunately, she's not dropping a ton of missiles, which I need. She hasn't given me a full round of the missiles yet, but that's okay. We're getting pretty close to the end here. She hasn't swooped on me much, which is good. It's left my health in pretty good shape. I haven't had to pseudo screw much. There we go. All right, and at this point, we're just gonna make our way to Torian and get ready for the Mother Brain fight. I actually do want to collect as many of the super missile drops in particular as possible here, because in in Torian, when we get there, we have to exit the last Metroid room with 10 super missiles. Technically, I can do it with 9, but it's going to add a ton of time to the run.
Well, I just want to say, what a kill shot. That last shot was quite impressive. And we have a $25 donation by Butler Kane, who says, proud to see Kipp supporting this great event.
Thank you, Butler. I appreciate that.
You know what? We might just break 1,500 before the end of your run.
Hey, that'd be great.
That'd be amazing.
I had a plan in place. I'm just going to be completely open and honest. If Save the Animals was winning, I was just going to drop however much money was the difference right before I got to the end myself. So I'll still donate for kill regardless of if it's in the lead or not, but I appreciate everybody's help here. Here's a little cool small thing. I actually kind of want to get to full power bombs here. These guys drop power bombs, so I'm going to get full power bombs and extra health there. Adds a few seconds to the run, but if you're low on power bombs, which you actually need some to get from here to Torian, it's a quick way to pick them up. And we have one more like really big trick left in Meridia. I have to do a pretty tricky gravity jump. It's very, it's not super hard, but at the same time, it's not one of those tricks it's not difficult to mess up, let's put it that way. So I need to get a perfect timing here. Let me see if I can get this. It felt pretty good. Let's find out. Think we're gonna get there? All right. Now I'm gonna try to do a double bomb jump to get out of here. And I'm gonna unmorph at the end to extend my hitbox, which allowed me to get in that door. So a couple cool small tech there, pieces of small tech. I'm gonna farm just a few times here to try to get some more supers. All right, should be good. I'm also at full health, which is not typical for this juncture. So I'm thinking in advance that that's gonna let me group some of the Metroids in the first room in Torian. So I should be able to group them and take damage from them without being in jeopardy of dying. And hopefully that'll save some super missiles and I can kind of comfortably get through Torian without having to pray to the RNG gods.
Bless RNG.
Indeed. I'll go ahead and sort of explain in advance what you guys are going to see in Torian. The baby skip is one of the most famous tricks in Super Metroid. But in this category, I think technically it can be done. But without wave beam, without wave beam and without high jump boots and speed booster, the chances of getting it are very low. And even if you do get it, it saves like 1 second, I think. And if you miss it at any juncture, then you lose a ton of time. So usually we just damage ourselves down and let the baby grab us as quickly as possible. So the one cool thing about this run is you don't have the pressure of losing a PB to one trick at the very end. But the bad news is that the Mother Brain 2 fight in this category is completely brutal. It requires 200 charge shots, and there's really no way to make it any faster. So it's like a 4 to 5 minute fight, depending on how long it takes you. You have to stay above 301 health the whole time, and she's pretty easy to kill in like any % old route, or even in new route, it's not too bad. You have to hit her 60 times. But when you have to hit her 200 times, she can really chain together a lot of really weird attacks and combinations. It's very easy to die. This is probably the place where most runs die. So even though you don't have to do the baby skip, you have to be nervous about the Mother Brain 2 fight. So I just need to make sure that when I get to Mother Brain 1, I don't lose any ammo, or else I'll soft lock. I do have a save ready for that, just in case. But I have to hit her with all the ammo I have, except for, I think, 1 missile. And the turrets can sometimes shoot at you and, like, hit those missiles before they hit Mother Brain. So I need to get through that, and then the 200-shot fight, which hopefully I'll be able to do. So first order of business, let's try to get the 10 super missiles before the end of the 4th Metroid room.
All right, well, just for luck, we got a $20 donation in by Ben Davis.
Oh, nice.
And they say, you guys don't even know that Kipp plays guitar the same way he plays SM. Fast. Much love from the band.
Thanks, Ben.
You're in a band?
Yeah, I play in a band. We're a bunch of old guys, I guess, at this point, but we have a good time together, play a lot of gigs, you know, out at bars. We get hired for private parties or weddings, stuff like that.
Well, cool things. I have a band too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's called 999 Megabyte.
Ooh, that's a great name.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a gig yet.
My ultimate dream is to be in a band that only covers video game music. So maybe one day that'll happen. All right, so we were able to get the 10 supers without issue. So now we just gotta get through the baby here. We have to open the first red door and the boss door with regular missiles, because there is a regular missile refill station that we can use to get back to the appropriate amount of ammo that we need to kill Mother Brain 1. If I were to use supers on either of those 2 doors, I would soft lock myself. So I'm gonna let the baby Metroid chomp on me here. And then I'm gonna go open those 2 doors with regular missiles before I refill. If I accidentally, it's very unlikely, but it has happened before, technically you can die to the boss door if you don't hit it correctly. There is a way to do it a little bit faster, but I'm gonna do the extremely safe method for this particular event. So I'm just gonna run up to it and stand still and shoot it 3 times. There we go. All right, so at this point, I need to refill on health and ammo, and A, hope to not soft lock at Mother Brain 1, and then B, try to survive a 200-shot Mother Brain 2 fight. Oh, and there's one more trick left. I have to get the Zeb skip. This is true in any category. I don't have enough ammo to kill the Zebatites, which are these barriers, or I guess the barriers that are in the room, basically. And so I'm gonna try to skip them by freezing a Rinka. Oh, I just made a mistake, actually. All right, hold on. I haven't soft blocked yet. I have no more leeway. Let me just focus for a second. All right, I can't have any of my missiles get sniped at all. That is technically a soft lock. Anytime you miss any missile right there, like literally you cannot get past that sequence. But the lucky part is, since they let me have some safety saves, we've got one that's literally right here, so that only loses about 20 seconds. You guys have all run Super Metroid. Have you guys ever soft locked at Mother Brain 1 before? I was saying, have y'all ever soft locked at Mother Brain 1?
Oh yeah, of course.
I think
It's pretty common to get in there and get one sniped when you're trying to push the pace.
Yeah, technically that one was actually my fault. Like, it tried to snipe me and I dodged it, but then I didn't stand back up correctly. But yeah, let's try again and see if we can get it here. All right, we're good.
For what it's worth, I soft locked the first time I actually achieved Zebetite skip. And I wasn't even running low percent, so I had no excuse.
It can happen to anybody, I assure you. All right, so here we go, guys. I'm just going to try to focus to get 200 shots. All right, that should be 50. Should be around 100. All right, we're about 10 shots from red beam phase. If I get hit by a catch-up, it's instant death. Dang, she's being quite feisty tonight. Hey, hey, all right.
That was amazing.
Thank you, appreciate that.
The butt clench was real. That's all I'm going to say.
So basically, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like I'm going to be a little over my estimated time of an hour, which I'm really sorry about. I'm sorry I died to Ridley and then had to repeat that whole lower North Fair section. But I really want to give a shout out to everybody running this event. It's really a pleasure and an honor to be here. I'm really excited. This is my first live event, and it's cool to be a part of raising money for multiple sclerosis. And I want to just say thank you to Dee Dee, who came and recruited me for this event. It's been fantastic, so thank you guys very much. We've got like about a minute before I can start to attack Mother Brain 3, and then after that we just have to escape and we're done. So do we have a final count yet on save or kill?
Right now, as it stands, Kill the Animals is ahead with $349.43, with Save the Animals memeing at $69.69.
Let's give a round of applause for Kill the Animals. That very rarely happens at these events, so speedrunners everywhere rejoice.
I think everybody just knows how important it is to you to kill the animals. So.
I think they just felt bad for me when I died, and so they just wanted the run to end quicker.
It was part of the plan all along, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Intentional death.
That's right. But I do want to thank all of the people from the Super Metroid community that have donated. Appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you.
Well, I just want to thank you for coming to our event and, you know, showcasing an amazing run. It's been an absolute pleasure, and hopefully we'll see more of you later at more events.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun for me.
If anybody wants to snipe, now's the time, because once that mother brain head hits the floor, it's over. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Okay, so the one thing about the escape in this category is it's actually a good bit tougher than regular runs because you don't have speed booster and you don't have high jump boots. So you have to move through the rooms a little bit differently than you might be accustomed to seeing. I can't shine spark, so I can't do, I have to do the climb room with wall jumps, and I also have to run the long way in this particular room right here. So it will take a little bit longer for me to get out than traditionally. Hopefully I won't make any mistakes and fall down anywhere.
I just want to say, Maniacal donated $20 saying, "Yo, Kipp, great run so far, finish strong."
Thank you, Maniacal. Appreciate that.
And Sefi Gigar donated $5 under the name Meme. Saving the animals, by the way.
All right, now we got to do a whole bunch of wall jumps here. Well, if I can get up there.
Yeah, this is another trick that we don't normally get to see, the left side wall climb.
That's right. Oops. Well, good grief. Okay. I'm gonna blame it on the screen shake, even though that's probably not really what it is. So there's where we would go save the animals, but luckily today we get to skip them. Thank you to all the people that donated.
Press F to pay respects for animals.
And we will be coming up on time when Samus faces forward on the ship, right
And
here.
time.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. It's been a pleasure. Thanks to everybody who watched out there. Y'all have a great evening.
Well, Kipp, once again, thank you. Thank you for being here and contributing so much to this event with an amazing content, amazing runner, amazing couch. You guys have been great, all of you. And honestly, I can't express how much I appreciate people coming to our little humble show to showcase these amazing games. Anyone who contributes. Yes, I mean, we do the production. We work the hardest that we can to bring quality and being able to actually offer this content to everyone here on site and at home. But at the end of the day, the runners are the lifeblood of this event. Without runners, there's no marathon. So to each and every single runner who's been here and who's going to be here until tomorrow, thank you from the bottom of my heart. This started 3 years ago as a small, just a bunch of speedrunners from Montreal in a bar, having a good time, and now here we are at DreamHack Atlanta and beyond, because we're also going to be in Dallas. We've been in Austin, we do Montreal. We have events pretty much all over North America now. So I just want to thank each and every single one of you for contributing. And also, you better let that credit rolling, because there's one tradition that is never going to be broken under my watch, and you know which one it is.
Of course. Well, the good news is this run is not official until the item percentage screen anyway at the very end. So we're hoping for 14, and that'll make it an official low percent ice run. But yeah, I think we got to do the Deer Force. Is that right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I will let you lead the charge on that.
Perfect. It's the ultimate way to pay respects to Gunpei Yokoi, video game extraordinaire. Gunpei Yokoi is actually head of the R&D 2 team for Nintendo, creator of the original Game Boy. So we owe a lot to Mr. Yokoi.
Yeah, I should quickly give a shout out too to some of the guys in the Super Metroid community that run this category. I'm currently 4th place in this category. The world record is currently held by Overfiend VIP. 2nd place is Zost, and 3rd place is Oats and Goats. Those guys are phenomenal runners, and if you recall, they ran at GDQ. I think not this past summer, but the one before that. They ran this category there, so Those guys, I've watched a ton of their videos, asked them a bunch of questions, and they've always been very helpful. So I really want to thank them, Static, and a lot of other people in our community that have been incredibly supportive and, you know, been able to answer a lot of questions for me and other people. So shout outs to the entire community.
I believe Oates was there this summer, actually. I was there, and I'm pretty sure he ran something.
Yeah, he ran 100% map completion, I think, at this past
exactly.
GDQ.
That's exactly what it was. It was a bonus run. It was a bonus incentive. All right, get ready. Great man. Here it comes. Dear Force!
Very nice. That was very strong.
Thank you, thank you. Rip headphones.
Chat, but I don't got it.
All right, 14. It's going to be really weird if it doesn't say 14. I don't think I picked up anything extra. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And good luck with the rest of the marathon.
Thank you, Kipp and crew. Hopefully we'll see you at a future event. And everybody, stay tuned because we have even more speedrunning coming up. We're going to be doing a quick setup. Let me just check this real quick. My brain is failing me. This run just blew it completely. I'm picking up pieces here and there. So we have Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition coming up. Dante New Game Normal on PC. And it's going to be ran by Private CD. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.